Yeah, I'm just making some videos of the mineral streets right now, and just for the hell of it, just kind of keeping an eye on things, trying to track the trackers, follow the followers, see where their cameras are, see what house cameras they're tapping into and using, see if they're putting any cameras up on poles, which I believe they are, only for places like this where there are no homes over here, and if they want to know which way I'm going. The reason why this is a thing to me because I have a lot of different routes that I could be taking, and I'm purposely taking routes that I'm allowing them to follow me on because I have to turn my phones on and then let them track me that way or go past their cameras. I mean, I have a couple of ways that I can get out and about where uh, I won't say that they can't not track me, but they have not yet tracked me. So it's just a matter of me continuing down those paths with my phones on, and then they're going to just track me down there. And then again, just tap into the house cameras and be able to do it that way. The mineral streets were heavy this morning, and they were going pretty good, and then now they seem to have died off. So I don't know what they're up to. They don't have any storms coming to us, anyways, in Western Mass for another week or so, as far as I know, a few days anyway. So they don't have to start hitting us hard until tomorrow or something. And another thing they can do too is if I'm getting too much on my cameras, there are other people, but uh, there's a few thousand actually. There's a few thousand people on the internet, on YouTube alone, that all talk about the mineral streets, but they don't get anywhere with it because they call them chemtrails. They use the PSYOP terminology, the CIA, FBI bullshit stories of what it is, and then Wikipedia picks it up and calls it conspiracy theory and all that kind of stuff. So it's just like anything else. Um, so yesterday was an interesting day. Now, none of this stuff is locked in yet, but it's in the back of my mind. Okay, just to let you know. All right. Yesterday, the little black car that was down in the parking lot down there. I'm aimed at that cross street. So one of the things I was testing for a week or so, anyways, maybe longer, was how they were tracking me and knowing which way I was going when I got down the street where there's no house cameras. So the answer to that might be them putting another camera on the pole up here because they were trying to fuck around on the pole up here the other day. But now they're doing is they're fucking around with the pole right across from my kid's house right now today. Verizon is. So again, this is not a big deal. There's no anger in my voice. I'm not pissed off about it. I'm just letting you all know that they can do whatever the fuck they want. And we should be wary of that. Not because we're worried about being followed. We should be worried because they're using it against us rather than for us. The technology, this garbage shit technology, it's all shit. But they're using it against us and you think it's so great. And it's not. It's not good that they're doing this. Not to me that they don't go and solve mysteries and crimes and really bad things that could be way easier solved. So, for example, if they and I have to stop saying if because it's pretty much guaranteed. I'm telling you, it's a given the way this is going. Okay, so by looking up your plate number, and they can grab your plate number from any of their cameras, right? Yeah, and then so once they got your plate number from a camera or just from spotting it or whatever, following you around, boom, they get your VIN number. Then once they got your VIN number and a list of addresses and all other kinds of shit, then all they need from there is they can go ahead in and depending on what agency they work for, and if they wanted to help out the lower agencies, if they wanted to help local and state, they could. They could solve some of these murders that are going unanswered because those murders are probably the fake ones. They're probably the false flag shit. And then the real murders get totally ignored and nobody even pays attention to them. Killings and murders even because there's a lot of innocent killings that happen from crossfires, and gang related neighborhoods and shit like that. It's not fair, man. It's not fucking fair. Those kids are young kids and they're all getting killed and nobody even looks into it. Oh, well, we're stuck. We don't know who did what. We can't find them. It must have been gang related and we don't know who did what. And it's not the point to even catch the criminals as far as I'm concerned. It's a matter of preventing any of it from happening in the first place. Don't even allow the next generation to become such, and it's not because the point is that it's not their fault. It's not their fault that they're living in these neighborhoods that are doing this to them, right? So why is the technology that they're using against everyday Joes that they don't like the shit that they're showing you on YouTube? Technology can be used against them, like they're doing right now with me, but yet somebody else who does something really bad, and if it's a real situation, why are they not using the technology to take them out? As a matter of fact, they don't even admit the technology exists. That's one of the reasons why they have to follow me around. Otherwise, they could just do the whole thing digitally. Once they know where you are, your address, they're tied into your email, they're tied into your YouTube account. With me, that's the way it is anyway. And they can do this with anyone. It's not just me. It's just me now because I'm a nobody. So if they take me out, that's why they don't take out people like Lex Friedman or Elon Musk or any of these guys. Is this guy going to come down this way? No, he's going that way. Yeah, this is the Verizon poll worker again. He's driving up the street now. And at least he worked on some polls today. I mean, last week, or in the beginning, yeah, it was last week, he was here on that day and he didn't even go up any fucking polls. He was just here for looks, I guess. So yesterday we had the two dudes that were walking the dogs, right, in the black car. So that black car was right here on this street the day before. So the day before yesterday, I seen the roof of that car go right up this street, but I only caught the roof of the car, so I couldn't really make a positive ID on it. So yesterday, I go down this road, I see what do you call it? The black car. I end up seeing that black car in the parking lot, acting kind of suspicious. Dark tinted glass sitting in the car. I give him this much. He must have been warned by his boss not to give me any eye contact. Just ignore him, because that is the best advice to give an agent, because they act, especially if they let me look into their eyes. Anyway, I'll know the whole fucking story. They won't have to say a word out of their mouth. I'll know the whole story just by looking at their eyes. So they must have been told by the boss, don't give the guy any eye contact. If he says hello, go ahead and say hello so you don't seem suspicious or whatever. They're getting the lectures. They're getting the, all right, he's already found out 25 vehicles. I'm tired of swapping vehicles out so that they're not recognizable to him. All that kind of crap. I think I'll put a filter on and go to the right. I like that. I did it yesterday of the woods on the side, and it's a really good idea. You can pull the imagery from all this really nicely. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to zoom in a little. And when I was looking back at it, I'm like, wow, when I remaster those videos of all this, it's going to be really nice. All right, so back to yesterday. So while I'm standing right here, I'm going to mention this. All right, yesterday there was another suspicious character. He was the one carrying the Target bag. I don't think I got him good on camera, and I don't want to, because I try not to get people's faces on camera until I'm sure that they're an agent. But anyways, he came down this trail here, and he went this way. I know everybody that lives down this way. He's got no reason to go down that way. That's all private property. He has no permission to go down there from anybody. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 houses all the way going up this way to the end. And then on this side is a farmhouse. The guy with the farmhouse, he actually passed away a few years ago. I know the new owners of the farmhouse and the property that leads down to the main street. And you have to have permission to walk on these trails back here. So I didn't come and look and see where he went, but this is the trail that he took. So you can only go so far in there. I'm thinking he was just hiding from my cameras or me or whatever, because I was standing right over there. I've not seen him again yet today. this back on. Matter of fact, I haven't seen anybody yet today, but I've only had my phone on for about a half hour too. Usually it takes them, like I say, half hour to an hour, and then all of a sudden they're all around me. So I'm just kind of grabbing the imagery from here. Digital collection of electromagnetic nanocarbon from an area we call a pile of leaves in the woods. So anyways, so this dude walked down this way. So who knows? He may be nothing. He may be nothing. The Verizon guy may be nothing. I don't have any hard evidence. I'm still putting it all together and trying different theories to see when they grab me, how they grab me. I know without a doubt the VIN numbers are giving them the tracking chip to the vehicles that I drive around in. So I have to watch out for that. I don't know if they got the plate number and the VIN number to the new vehicle that I just put into play about a week ago. I'm not sure yet if they've got that. I know that they have not tailed me in it yet, but that doesn't mean they don't have it. They obviously have the VIN number chips numbers to some of my family members' cars, and I figured that out over the last couple of days because they tracked my uncle. My uncle also has a government cell phone. So they could have tracked him by his cell phone. They could have tracked him by his vehicle VIN number. Because his car is a 2002, I believe, 2006, something like that. So he definitely has a tracking chip in his car, but he also carries around a government cell phone, one of those Obama phones. So they could be tracking him either way. But anyways, he went one day during that week, it was last week, early in the week or something, he went to an aunt's house to pick up some cans. He collects cans and bottles from her. So one of the houses he picked up cans and bottles. I haven't said nothing to him yet because he's just in total denial anyway. They're all fucking in denial. But anyways, he went to pick up the cans and thought nothing of it. So then when he left, all of a sudden, a week later, 4 days later, whatever it was, they called that aunt. These agents, whoever they are, she didn't know who they were. I don't even know if they identified themselves. They just claimed, I'll talk directly to you. You just claimed when you called my aunt, you you told her that there was a civil suit against me in Connecticut. Okay. So number one, I haven't talked to that aunt in years. It's been probably 5 years, 6 years, aside from an occasional phone call or message. But I mean, shit, I changed my phone number twice in the last year, and she has not had either one of those. She had to call around in the family to try to get my phone number because I can't get my phone number out. I just seen something, so I'm gonna go back up this way for a minute. So, anyways, just keeping an eye on through the trees over here and something. So anyway, they're tracking family too. They're tracking family. My daughter's and my son's phones get blown up on a daily basis with strange phone numbers. I'm supposed to assume that it's only spam and it's just spam calls, and there's some AT&T spam thing going on or some shit like that. So I'm not supposed to think twice about it. I still do. I don't drive myself crazy with all these things, and even if I did, I would not say it on these YouTube videos because they'll use it against me and try to say that I'm a danger to myself and others or some shit. That's why I'm talking calmly and cool and collective and just letting anybody else know who comes to these videos, this is how they do it. This is how it works. This is worse than China. This is way worse than China. At least in China, they put all their cameras up on the telephone poles and on the buildings outside that are government buildings to watch everybody. Here, they got the people fucking tracking themselves. They got everyone tracking themselves. Here comes another one. I want to see what this one goes for. Let's see. see. Okay, so I got a big box truck. Thing's a fucking monster. He already went around the block twice already since I've been standing out here. I can see him through the trees. He's about a quarter of a mile away from me. The street is, anyway. And, it's kind of weird. Um, okay, so what the agents have been doing is they've been reacting to everything, all the videos that I'm putting up on my channel. So I already knew that. That's why I talked to you guys, you agents. I talked to you directly on this channel because I know you're all over me on all my channels. So now that I'm working off of this one only and mostly, then I know that you're coming to them. So the dude on the electric bike, I'm 99% sure that he's an agent. The way he does it all, the way he goes, comes in off the trail from Walmart and Lowe's. You can see him in the snow. You can see his tracks. Before anybody else gets on there, or even if anybody else has been on there, he's got a unique tire tread. So none of that really makes any sense, you know? That doesn't make any fucking sense to do something like that. Someone's coming up the trail, someone get going. It's just a couple of neighbors. So anyways, I'll talk a little bit more as I'm riding along. Yeah, so the agent from yesterday, the kid that was walking early in the morning with the Target bag. Now, there's private property signs all over the place. Police don't enforce it, but the owners do. They'll go out and tell you to get off their property and shit like that. So I think he was just tucked into the woods and waiting for me and watching me to make sure I moved away before he came out. The reason why I'm bringing this up today, talking about it, is because they reacted to it again. They reacted by putting guys on the ground on foot. So on top of the cars yesterday, we had the white truck that drove by twice. I can't lock him in because that was the first day I seen that particular truck. It was a little smaller than the other pickup trucks. I've seen other white pickup trucks that I've also gotten on camera. But this one looked a little smaller. Tires were smaller. I didn't get a plate number off it. It was going side to side. So I don't know. Tinted glasses, always a real dark tint, so you can't ever see anything. And so anyways, the ground crews, I'm going to put a darker filter on while I'm walking because that filter sucks. The grip on it sucks. Put a green filter on for the fuck of it. Same thing. You can still grab all the imagery out of there. It's beautiful. Alright, so what they did was they had to put a couple guys on the ground. I don't know why they're doing this. I'm assuming, I have some assumptions of why they're trailing me the way they do. Intimidation is one reason, I would guess. Threatening, intimidating, that kind of thing is one reason why I can see them doing like this. 8 to 10 hour days. It's almost like 24-hour surveillance, really, because the cameras that they got on the houses, even my own cameras that are on the houses that I go to, there's 3 of them that I stay at regularly, and all 3 of them have cameras on them. So my own cameras are used against me, is what I'm saying. So I could shut the cameras off and get out of one house and then try to go to another, but they're going to pick me up on the other cameras unless those cameras are off. And I cannot leave cameras off everywhere because for the same reason, because I'm tracking them the same way they're tracking me, right? So I can't do that without causing myself problems. So it sucks. It's a no-win situation. That's why I had to bring the camcorders back into the picture. So now I got camcorders set up everywhere so that I can get them that way without having to upload them onto my YouTube channel, which is just going to do a disappearing act whenever they take me out. So yeah, there we go. Beauteous. Beautiful. Okay, so the guys on the trail. So the day before yesterday was the black car down at the bottom of the street. Seen only the roof line. Yesterday, go out, find a black car acting weird down at the Lowe's parking lot. The Lowe's parking lot where the guy on the bike usually gets out. There goes a white pickup truck. Looks just like the one from yesterday too. I don't know. We'll see when we get out the other side. Now this is the opposite direction of the way that I went yesterday. And then here is the same white pickup ready to pass my path as I'm coming up the road over here. So it's pretty funny to watch how this works, you know. And I'm dragging ass, but I got some people coming up behind me, my neighbors. I don't want to keep talking and let them hear me. Yep, there he goes. Okay. Yeah, so the white pickup truck just went in front of me again. Now this is miles. I'm 4 or 5 miles probably away from the other direction that I saw that truck yesterday. Let me stick to my story here that I'm trying to get about yesterday too. All right, so I go see the black car. I get him on camera, get his plate number, and I watch him. Now he moves the car around the lot. He's not giving me any eye contact, and I was acting very suspicious. I mean, anybody in their right mind should have looked around at me and said, or even yelled out their window and said, dude, what the fuck you doing? You know, or something. Because that's how suspicious I was purposely acting. And anyway, so I said, okay, fuck him. I went in the store, got some shit, came back out, turned the cameras back on again. And I did not even look for him. I did not go back and look for him. I just headed on the trail. So as soon as I got onto the trail, I was a couple, maybe 30, 40 feet up into the trail from the parking lot. And I heard a door slam. And then when I turned around, there was a dog and a guy there with his little dog, right? So the dog that he had, I'm putting it all together because there's 2 dogs that are belong to one of the agents. I'm assuming probably the owner of the agency or some shit. And it's that little white dog. That same little white dog was the dog that the other dude walking on the trail had yesterday. And I'm almost positive. I'm like fucking 99% sure on this one too. Because I'm getting to know them all. I'm getting to know the dogs. Not all, but I'm getting to know all the agents and the dogs that I come across, right? So, anyway, trying to decide which way I'm going to go. I think I'm going to stay on the fucking trail and just see what happens down here. It's funny they stopped the mineral streets now this afternoon. This morning they were going strong. All right, so the little white dog's the same dog. If you go back over, and if anybody's been really watching my videos and seeing them for what they are, you're gonna see that little white dog. Now that little white dog was in the red car that was across the street from the school that day. Again, miles away from here. So there was no fucking reason for me to keep running into this dog. And every time I run into this dog, the white dog, he's always got a different person walking him and taking care of him. So that day he was in the guy with the red car. So when he was in the guy with the red car, I didn't see the other dog. I only saw the white one. I didn't see the other one, but I said on video, I said, that looks like the same white dog that the old man in the little Subaru's always with. And it's the guy with the Subaru's always has 2 dogs with him whenever I was seeing him parked on the side of the road. So I thought that was kind of funny, but you know, just putting it all together. And then I'd seen that white dog other places before, but this is the first time I've ever seen in cars, always in cars. This is the first time I've ever seen the white dog on foot. So I thought that was pretty interesting, you know. And yesterday, when I seen the guy walking, I mean, again, I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it because that's what they want. And they'll. I don't want to play into that. I'm not playing into that. So I really don't fucking care. I'm just pointing it out to you. That's all. So, so that's what they did yesterday. So yesterday, when I got back up the other side of the trail from the store, after putting the long range, what do you call it, telescopic lens on the camera, and that was good because I don't want to show their faces until I'm 100% sure of who they are anyway. So these were two younger guys. They were new to the trail. I know everybody on these fucking trails. I mean, everybody in this town that walks on these trails, we all know each other, right? So when somebody new comes along, you get to know them, and if they really live in the neighborhood, you'll start seeing them on a regular basis, running, jogging, biking, whatever. And then you'll also know who's who, because the homeless people don't usually jump on the main trail. They're always down at the bottom trails, because there are homeless that live around here too. But again, you get to know them just as well as everybody else. You just get to know everybody. So it's not unheard of to see new faces, but both of these guys yesterday were just acted really strange to me, because when they were walking towards each other, they're trying to act like they didn't know each other. I say hello to everybody when I walk by them, and they didn't say hello to each other, but they both said hello to me. And then once I got far enough up the road, they went back at each other. So they were walking away from each other when I went by them and acting like they didn't know each other or whatever. And then they got far enough away, I guess they thought I was pretty far away. The telescopic lens gets up to probably half a mile or more or something extension. So they could not see me with the camera aimed at them from that far away. So that's when they went back to each other. I watched the video again last night, and they stand there talking about something, and then talk again, and go back and forth with each other. I almost thought they swapped dogs or something, but they didn't. I went and watched the video closely. The guy with the white dog, he did finally start walking back. But then when I got way up the road, I figured out why he was walking back, because the red car was around. As soon as I came around the corner, the little red car, which I did not expect to see again for a long time, because he knows he's been spotted. So I didn't think he'd want to even risk being in the neighborhood over there, because I'd see him again. But he didn't care. I don't know if I got him on video or not. I think I did. Yeah, I did. I think I got him on video just real quick. But I didn't get the plate number, so I could not confirm that it was the same red car. But the more I add it all up, that's what it looks like. So what they do is he dropped off one kid, the young guy, he's like in his 20s, late 20s, early 30s, something like that. The red car dropped him off with the white dog, and then the other dog was in the black car with the dude with the black car. So the dude with the black car sat there in his car until I came out of the store. So if you add up the time that I was standing on the mountain, I'm saying, this dude's acting weird. He's acting suspicious. Let me go check him out. Let me get his plate number. This is 5-10 minutes goes by. Then I go into the store. Another 40 minutes goes by. I come back out, get on the trail. All of a sudden pops out of his car and starts walking the dog. Doesn't make any fucking sense. It just doesn't make any sense. And then I seen the roof of a black car the day before, I'm just going to go ahead and put him on the list and say he's a good possibility that he is an agent. He's a newer agent. They're putting new faces out, and they're putting some young guys on the job. So I have several other ways of getting around through backyards and back ways. But if I didn't know all my neighbors around where my kids live, and I wasn't friendly with them, then I wouldn't have the opportunity to even do this. And if the neighborhood was like inner city, anybody that's inner city is really fucked, right? Because you're not going to be able to get away from these guys no matter what you do. They'll always be on your ass. So, not that everybody's going to all of a sudden awaken and all get together and take down all this internet garbage and stuff. They should, but I know it's not going to happen. Everybody's fucking stuck in a delusional. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy to watch. That's why I kind of like this new guy that I came across here, because actually both of them, there's two of them on there. It's just too bad that no one realizes that it's everything. They only think that some things they were lied about, they were lied to about. Oh yeah, so there's some lies out there and stuff. Nah, it's fucking everything, man. It's everything. It's not just a few minor lies that ain't gonna hurt nobody or something. No, it's fucking everything, man. So unless you're gonna get that through your heads, then it's gonna be a hard time for everybody. For everybody. Even you agents that are watching me now, your turn's coming. Your fucking turn's coming, man. They're just using us all against each other. It's all part of the division. But believe me, you'll be on the fucking list after we're all gone. So, and then they start over. They have these takedowns. As we listen to this guy, Graham, as we listen to Graham talk, Graham Hancock, got to keep memorizing his name. I always have to do that when I start a new series. So Graham, because I still want to make a series out to that girl Stacy Means. Is that her name? Stacy or Gracie Means? Stacy Means. I want to make a series to her too, because she's big on the Metellus, and she don't even know what Metellus is, but they're real close. They're real close to figuring all that part of it all out. So I want to do a series to her still too, but I feel like I'm running out of time. These guys are going to take me out any time now. I know I've been saying that for years, but it's just getting deeper and deeper, and it's just like any minute now. I mean, I could just turn around any one of these corners on this trail, and they'll throw me in the back of a fucking van, and no one will see or hear from me again. And that's the way they're going to play it. If they can't get something on me. If they can get something on me, then they'll do it a different way, but it's still similar circumstances. So yeah, this guy Graham, listening to him talking stuff about the ancient Egyptians, this is the shit that I was trying to tell Candace Owens in the Candace Owens series. But there's no sense, I guess, with all those guys. All those mainstream people and stuff, it's very frustrating to make series out to anybody who's mainstream. Candace Owens is obviously mainstream. That's one of the reasons why I never made a series to Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, Donald Trump. I'll mention them. I'll rank them out. NASA. There's no sense. They're all fucking mainstream. None of it will even get through. At least if I make it out to somebody who's a famous outcast, put it that way. Someone who has fame and has been outcasted for what they've been exploring and looking into and talking about. Not too many people in powerful places are in that position. And even if they are, like even Graham, he's got some fame under his belt. He's got some publicity rights, or whatever you want to call it. He can get the word out there better than I can. He's got a following, right? But at the same time, he's wrong about a lot of things. I have to admit, I don't see anybody that's been much closer to having it all right than him. But anybody that's still talking about the earth being a ball and we're spinning around at 1,100 miles an hour and the moon is what we've been told it was, and anybody that's still going along with all that nonsense and they call it science and factual, and no, you're fucked too. You're still fucking way off. You gotta keep looking. And then once you see it all, you'll know, no doubt in your mind, you'll know the story, and you won't need anybody to tell it to you in a book or in a movie or on a television or on the radio or verbally or any other way. You won't need it anymore. You'll start seeing it all. So that's why I feel it's important to get it out to him. And we'll try, and I said this with the Candace Owens series. I figured they were going to take me out under that. That was a couple of years already. And I figured they were going to take me out then because they were watching me heavier than they were in previous years. It just, like every year it gets worse and worse and worse. And I think the reason is because of the people that I'm calling out, the names that I'm calling out. So it's just more work for them to hide the series. You know, the Jordan Peterson series, 200 and something parts. Nobody's come along to look. Nobody's come along to see what it is I'm showing you guys. That's weird, man. Very fucking weird. I mean, YouTube's got to work double hard to hide all that shit. That's the reason why I do the series the way I do them. Yeah, so they got, on these investigators, so they got guys on the street, they got the cars going, they got all this shit. They got 6 to 8 hours per day of surveillance. They've got 24 hours surveillance when you think about it, because if they're using they are using the cameras that are in the neighborhood on people's homes that are tied into internet access so that people can watch their property from their work or whenever they're not at home. This is the way it is pretty regularly now everywhere you go. So so those in power, those that have the internet, have their surveillance for every fucking thing. Even the camera that I'm fucking talking to you on now, even though it doesn't have cell phone service, it doesn't matter. When I get back to upload it, they have access to it. Now, only because it's not hooked up to cell phone and it doesn't have any 5G technology. It's not a updated phone or anything like that. That only means that they could not track it through phone calls. But as long as they've been in the phone already, then they can track it. They all have tracking devices in them. The phones, the cars, everything. That's why they want to put the tracking devices in us. They want to put them in our bodies now. And that's becoming more and more looked at as acceptable as we go along forward with all this shit. I wish I knew for sure that the reset button that they're about to hit, if it was going to be a full reset or a partial reset. It's hard to say. I think it all depends on how much the zombies wake up. If the zombie slaves wake up all the way, in majority of them all awaken at the same time, they would have to do it at the same time. Because if they awaken slowly, then it gives them the elite, the rulers, whatever you want to call them, only probably, I don't know, maybe 10,000 or something all over the earth. And then when you go up the ladder, it still goes up the ladder again to where there's probably less than 1,000 all around the earth that are the top of the line, top rulers. They know everything that I'm telling you, and they only pass down little bits and particles of bullshit technology as we go along. And that's where this guy Graham, that's another place where this guy Graham is like right on the verge of seeing it all. When he talks about the technology, they have an understanding of that the technology used to be better than what it is today. And that technology, we still have it here with us today. It's the true creator's work. It ain't going anywhere. It's just that we, the human beings, have given up on it. We forwarded or defaulted on it, whatever you want to call it. We gave it up. Hey, doggy. You guys hunting? You guys hunting for rabbits? So, anyway. I like your cowbell. Yeah, they're rabbit hunting. Got a hunting dog over there. Yeah, so I don't fucking know, man. I'll just keep clicking along. I'll try to get the next series done. I'm gonna work on the Garden Home series and this one at the same time. So I'll probably go back and forth when I'm uploading them, and then I'll have to label and tag them all that way as well. see what I'm at for minutes. I've been shooting this shit for a while. Oh yeah, alright, I'll be back. Should I grab the imagery from right here too?